All right, truth seekers. Today we got a great video that we're going to go to, and I'm going to talk to you about what I call hidden forces. I have 3 videos that I pull from social media that's going to give you a few things. In fact, I'll show you just a second of one of the clips that we're going to be talking about. But this one scene.
Why are you filming me?
So this one scene that you've seen this lady jump out, and sometimes we can say this person is crazy or whatever the thoughts there is, but I want you to know there was or is some forbidden text that said that we all of us was born holding something that the ruler of this world cannot make and cannot buy and cannot copy. But what they're saying is we have what we call a divine spark, but there's something out there, a hidden insidious force, or what I would consider a control system that is tapping into everybody's conscious minds, in fact, trying to control these things. In fact, most people say that we have a human, or what we would call a passenger. If you remember the movie Disclosure Day, and they kept saying, I'm a passenger, or this person has a passenger with them. Well, we're going to get into this right now. I'm going to show you 3 clips today. We're going to break down each one of them on the board, what could be possibly happening, and what I think we should be thinking about in real time. And we're going to do this all throughout the week. We're going to pull up a few things. So let me play the first clip. I want you to watch it, and then when you're done, I want you to post in the comments your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts on what just happened, and then we're going to break something down here on the board. All right, so let's play the clip, and let's get right into it.
Why are you filming me?
Watch how this Karen goes wild after seeing the auditor filming inside post office.
Don't be touching me.
Why are you filming me?
Don't be touching me.
Why are you filming me? Why you got your glasses on?
Hey, it's okay if you want to.
No, look at him.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, move along, lady.
Can you please?
Move along.
If I f***ing hit you, you're gonna die.
Go ahead and hit me then. That's what I thought. Leave. Walk away.
Who are you? You don't even
Walk
know
away.
me.
Walk away.
You don't even know me.
Cry me a river.
You don't know me, so stop filming me.
Nobody wants to know you. Move along.
Get your goddamn camera off of me.
You are a wildcat. Keep it moving.
You better stop. You know what? Can someone call the police, please? Why are you filming me?
Okay, so I want to know your comments when you see stuff like this. And all this week, we're going to be going deep into a lot of these different types of videos. This one, I'm going to label what I call the feed, F-E-E-D. And I'm going to break it down in just a minute, but I want to see your comments. We're going to talk about what is happening on the surface. Now, I know you may be wondering, Roderick, how does that deal with some of our content? Well, it is going to play an important role. And like I said, I will look here in the, whatever you want to call it, in the chats to kind of see. You just watch the clip, give me your thoughts, and then we're going to go there. Someone say no to drugs. Okay, that's fine. I get it. Psychological challenge. I get it. We're going to keep going through those things, and give me more. But in the meantime, I'm going to break down on our board a few things. What is happening here on the surface is the fact that we have, I would consider, we got a person that I would say that she lost control on this camera. Okay. And there's a number of reasons why that lady lost control. There's a lot of reasons. We can frame it any kind of way. But what if there was something else going on here? But one of the things that I want you to understand on the surface level, that millions of people watched this. There was people in the comments that mocked it. There was people in the comments that shared this. And they did this all throughout. It's all I can say. Someone saying trauma, sorry, possessiveness. You can feel negative and positive. Okay, fine. We're getting somewhere. There are anger issues. We're getting somewhere. Now, the emotion of this 30-second video, when I started watching it, was spreading a long ways. It was going a lot of places from there. And we're going to get into this. So the main thing I want you to understand is that on the surface level, this thing was shared millions of times, okay? It was shared millions of times. It had 100,000 comments that people were commenting about this video. Lots of people were involved in seeing this. It was spread it rapidly. And once again, I'm going to play it again before we go back into the other part of this, because there's something else insidious is happening here. And I think that people should pay attention to it because it's going to go. So let's play it one more time, and then let's break this down completely.
Why are you filming me?
Watch how this Karen goes wild after seeing the auditor filming inside post office.
Don't be touching me.
Filming me?
Don't be touching me.
Why are you filming me? Why you got your glasses on?
Hey, it's okay if you want
No,
to.
look at him.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, move along, lady.
Can you please?
Move along. Hey,
If I fucking hit
If
you, you're
you're-
gonna die.
go ahead and hit me then. That's what I thought. Leave. Walk away.
Who are you?
are you
You don't even
Walk
know
away.
me.
Walk away.
You don't even know me.
Cry me a river.
You don't know me, so stop filming me.
Nobody wants to know you. Move along.
Get your goddamn camera off of me.
You are a wildcat. Keep it moving.
You better stop. You know what? Can someone call the police, please? Why are you filming me?
Now, this happens every day, a lot of places. And even some of you probably would react to the same scenario if you felt violated of any point. Now, I want you to understand that this clip has a mechanism. And follow with me today, because all this week, in fact, quite some times, we're going to touch on something that has been on my heart for quite some time, but also a conversation that all of us needs to have. Now, in this clip, I want you to understand that this clip is intentionally, let me go back to give it where it's going. This clip is very intentional. This clip is what I call the THE delivery system. This clip is a delivery system. I know you may be asking yourself, Roderick, what are you talking about? I'm glad you asked. This clip also was just not recording, because you got to understand every person who watched this produced what I called a few things. And one in particular is rage. There was people that this clip calls rage. There was other people who this clip started talking about ridicule, you know, in essence of that. And there were a lot of people that was talking about how this thing emotionally charged them up a little bit. So Devin, you've been watching this too. What do you think about that so far? Why I put this on the board?
She has some deeply rooted rage from something. Everything has a root, and I think it's something maybe from her childhood that this guy triggered. I'm really not sure, but someone put in the comments maybe a dual personality. I can definitely agree with that.
Okay.
But she has some anger issues, and the sad part is, and I thought about this when I first saw it, the sad part is that there's people in authority positions that has this same anger, rage, chaos, deeply enrooted in them. And the first occupation I can think of is sometimes police officers. And they take it out on people that has nothing to do with how they went. And then lawmakers, they can screw you over with a pen.
So I'm glad that everybody is seeing this on a surface level. But today is going to be your day, and all this week is going to be your week of understanding what had happened long time ago. In fact, I'm going to find my notes and just kind of see if I have them in front of me. Yeah, in fact, I have them right here. So at this point, I want you to understand that there are other things happening within our world. And at the same time, on the surface level, we kind of see what we're seeing here. But I want you to understand, in December in 1945, I'm going to take you back to 1945. There was a farmer in Egypt. He was out there swinging his shovel. He was digging, and he hit something very hard out in that land. All right. And it was a sealed clay. It was like a jar that they still talk about this day. Inside it was 13 leather books was inside of this and buried there for like 1600 years. This has been there for 1600 years. And today it was banned. Everything was almost erased. But these books have a name for what you're about to watch in these 3 videos that I'm going to give you. And it's not a demon. It's not a devil. It's not mental illness that we're looking at, but it is what I call a word that has been deleted from our language and everything else. So again, we have 3 videos today, 3 different scenarios. And this one, I'm calling it the feed, F-E-E-D, down here in the corner. So let's kind of get into what is really happening to break it down. And who really wants what we saw? There's something out there that wants what we saw. It wants the energy. It wants everybody enraged. Yeah, we can talk about the algorithm. We can talk about social media. We can talk about all the different things, but there's something out there that wants what we saw here. And I'm going to play this clip the last time as I reveal to you what is happening.
Why are you filming me?
Watch how this Karen goes wild after seeing the auditor filming inside post office.
Don't be touching me.
Filming me?
Don't be touching me.
Why are you filming me? Why you got your glasses on?
Hey, it's okay if you want
No,
to.
look at him.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, move along, lady.
Can you please?
But
Move along. Hey,
If I fucking hit
If
you, you're
you're-
gonna die.
go ahead and hit me then.
Now, even she said, I'm going to hit you and you're going to die. That's what she said. Now, again, I'm going to give you the solution here of what we're talking about. We're talking about rage. Somebody wants this rage. There's something that wants the fear. There's something that wants the contempt. And there is a high force that want this division. Now we can go back and we can equate this to what we already been hearing within the Epsteins and all of this stuff, what they're doing to children, why are they doing it, all these different things. But this is something a little more deeper. And again, let me reveal to you what I'm talking about here. So the one thing that we know that we're talking about here is going to be, let's put that there. Let's put that there. We're talking about Archons. This is a situation that has been plaguing us since we have been created at some point. You all should know the story of Sophia, who from the Plurman, I forget the name there, where she wanted to create her divine offspring without permission of the partner. Then there came her offspring who had a body of a serpent, a head of a lion, eyes that was kind of blind, and the Gnostics call them Yaldabaoth or whatever, or the demiurge or whatever we want to call it. The demiurge at this point got into where it was and felt that, wait a minute, it was disconnected from what we're going to be talking about is what we call divine source. All of us is connected to divine source. The demiurge couldn't find the source, or Yaldabaoth couldn't find that source, and then felt, hey, wait a minute, I must be God. I am God. This is what it proclaimed. And in that process, it created 12 archons based upon our zodiac sign. So you can go back and do some research of this. And from there became 7 others that was underneath those that controlled the planetary things that we have here. And then underneath that became 365 others that control things on a daily basis. And one of the things that they're after is those things that we are feeling and seeing out here. Now, I want to take you into the mind that what we see in our everyday world, from AI, from television, from all of these things, is a manufactured system. Because once you start thinking about it in your mind, and let me first do a disqualification here. The archons are not demons that most people talk about. They're not uh, these bad entities. It's like a program. The Archons is like a program in our minds, and it's been implanted there. But its whole feature is to run consistently while we are in our daily lives or whatever. For example, sometimes I'm working and I may be thinking of an idea or something that hit my mind, like right after I'm in my creative space, something that hit, that was just crazy, Roderick, don't do it. And I can keep going on and on and on. So let's go deeper into what I'm talking about here, because it all goes back to the Gnostics, which was actually what I would consider a meaning to know. And it's not so much of a religion. It was just that the Gnostics start talking about how we have a divine spark within us that we all can relate back to. And what that simply means is that for a lot of us who have done a lot of things in our lives, and we are holding that or ourselves accountable, whether it's bad, good, or whatever you want to call it, the Gnostics talk about that you shouldn't hold that. You shouldn't hold that, because when you connect back to the divine source, our minds could grow from that particular scenario to become a better person. So all that you have done could make you into a better person. But society changes that for us. Society and the way these things that we're looking at have us to carry that as an identity. And we have to begin to understand that the identity that we're carrying is what's driving us on a daily basis, forcing some of our decisions, causing us in the relationships that we can't find love, or maybe you got raised and we're consuming all those things that we just saw between what this lady was doing and among other stuff. So at this point, like I said, who wants it? It will be the Archons. Now, again, the Archons, and don't forget this so that you understand, like I said before, because there's a lot of people out there that classifies them as demonic, fallen angels. There's a lot of names for them. But at this point is just remember, they're not out to get you. And most people will say the Archons are out to get me. They're out to get me. The Archons is a program. Remember, we are in the matrix. We're in this, and let me use the other word, the consciousness of everything. We're all a collective consciousness, and the Archons feed off of those things. Now, I'm learning this, and I'm also saying that it can change how you see the world, how you respond to negativity. And once again, what do these Archons want? Now, you got to remember, they're after low frequency, all right? Low frequency emotions. The Archons are after low frequency emotion. Now, I was probably prone to this too. You'll probably watch me say, well, Roderick, I got to raise my vibration. I got to raise or I am this. I got to do this. And what I'm starting to learn is that it's all been a trick. I know it's been a trick. You have to begin to be what we call conscious awareness. You got to be aware of what is happening, supposed to experiencing what is happening, and then begin that to become your identity of who and what you are. And so, for example, there's a lot of people. Well, let me back up for a minute. So the system out here keeps us with labels. I am, and let me give you an example. There's people right now that stand in the mirror and they go, I am powerful. The archonic system is working exactly like it's supposed to be working, because what we are saying to the consciousness is that I am powerful also is sending a signal that I am deficit of something that I don't have. And so you have to declare what it is, which you really are not. And so therefore you're not getting it. There is no need for anyone who is powerful who have to declare that they are that. Because if you are that, then you knowing, science, to know, omniscience, all knowing, you're going to know this. You don't have to act this way. You don't have to go around telling everybody I am spiritual, because when you become spiritual, you're still in the same exact system, whether you was in anything else, because you're duplicating the same thing, because usually those spiritual people is going to start looking for a spiritual group to identify with. And now they are identifying them. Let me get out of that. I know it's Monday. I don't need to be pulling y'all this on Monday. Maybe I need to get into this later on during the week, but we will talk about this deeper into the Patreon and all that stuff. But let me get back on track, because I am telling you that there's some shit out here that we need to start paying a closer attention to and do this. Okay, so let me continue, and I'll check the chat in a minute to go down this. When you start thinking about what they're doing, we're talking about those videos that we saw is a viral way. All right. It's a viral way that the Archon programs have created a harvesting system. Now, I got 2 more videos that I'm going to show you, all in different ways that is happening in real time. A harvesting system. Now, in a second, I'm going to give you a solution to how you need to perceive these events, especially what I call the feed. You start looking for the feed, all right? This is what this one is. So I'm going to give you a solution and let us go to where we're going, all right? And so now I'm on a journey myself that I've said it before, but I started realizing, you know, how to be aware of what's going on. So instead of me saying, well, Roderick, I don't have this, or I need to raise my vibration. Okay. And we tell people this all the time. This is out there everywhere. But I think we have been getting it wrong. I know I have. Instead of sitting here saying, I need to raise my vibration, I need to step back as consciousness awareness and say, why do that person needs his vibration raised? Why do he needs to be protected from Archons? Because when you start asking that question, instead of saying I am possessing it and becoming it, and then also you're not growing it, you're just building a system, I can then look from over here and understand what is going on with that person, which is me, infinite conscious and awareness, living this experience as Roderick Martin, this 300-pound plus YouTuber, and not that who I am. I'll get to that another time. Let me just take you there. So the other part of this is what I'm saying is that you have to begin the process to understand that these events evokes what they're seeking. And we're talking about the algorithms. All right. It provokes these things. And we can keep going deeper. We got 2 more videos we're going to play, 2 different scenarios. So let me get to that for you as well. But I would not go this far without giving you a solution to what we're talking about here. So it's all about being sovereign in the mind. It's all about being able to watch what is happening without feeding. You got to be able to begin the process to watch what is happening. Okay. But you don't need to feed it and take it in, because the minute you assume the emotions and that one video starts to go viral, I'm getting emotion, you getting emotion. The Archons are just pulling it from everybody. And the archonic system, the algorithm, all that stuff is part of the same stuff. You got to know this. It was never intended for us to consume and then suck in those energies to do this. And you got to look at it with no mockery, no identity to it. So not that that is crazy, or she is crazy, or she's emotionally unstable. No, just nothing. It exists. It's just a program. It's just running. It's not, you don't label it, because the minute you label it, it becomes, and the Archon system is working. And when you start practicing this on a daily basis, you won't need to be walking around saying, oh man, my vibration is low. Why? What then? It's not what did it. You ain't trying to get away from the person because their energy is low and you don't want to be around it, and it's still provoking the same separation, the same division. You should be strong enough to sit in a room of negativity all around you, but it don't penetrate you. That's how strong you should be. And you don't need to get out of a relationship. I'm not saying if it's bad. You don't need to disconnect from a friend that you grew up with when they were little. And you should understand that person without judgment, without worry about it. And y'all still are cool. It's just that what they do, their program don't affect your program. But we got people that are not even speaking to people that they went through the trenches with 10 years ago because of an incident. And now that incident labeled them a narcissist, or maybe they're controlling, or maybe they this. When you don't, I'm not saying you don't walk in the shoes with them. You just sit back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say to you. So you have to understand when chaotic moments hit your life, like let's say you got a boss, they're just getting on your nerves. And the moment it hits your life, the difficult boss in a checkout line, or what you just saw, or the timelines that we're looking at, all this stuff is happening. You need to refuse, and listen to me closely. You got to refuse of handing over the emotion to the Archons. Don't collect it. Don't feel it. Don't add it in. Because the minute you transfer that energy never dies. We know this. And whatever emotion it sparks into you, you just produced it. And let's say it was 10,000 people watching this. Now 10,000 people had just fed the Archonic system. And then they shared it with another 10,000. And within a day, 1 million of them. And it was all designed by somebody who told somebody else, create this system to feed me. There's something hidden saying, feed me. And we're feeding it with our emotions and rage and everything else. And let me play another clip. Let's get to our second one so we can continue to go down. And if I'm resonating with anybody today, put it in the chat. Give me some, just let me know. I don't need to have the emotion of affirmation. I just want to know, am I doing my collective conscious job? Because there's something out there that we need to start doing. Any of you heard of the 100 monkey effect? You, Devin? Mm-hmm. This is a real deal. We'll talk about that later on in the show for some of you, if you have.
Before you finish, I know exactly. I think I understand what you're saying. Instead of letting the outside stimulus get to your core, mm-hmm. just become an observer mm-hmm. of your actions or your environment. And that's what you're saying. But
become an observer,
just an observer of your
don't use the word your, because your is possession there. It begins you taking in. Be observant of the action.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And as the audience listening, I can understand that they don't get it, because from their perspective, they're saying that just like, when you said I'm powerful, mm-hmm. I'm this, I'm that in the mirror. Mm-hmm. That whole concept, that's universal. But what they're saying is that they just go to a smaller scale, fake it till you make it. I'm powerful, I'm this, I'm that. And so you have to do that to get to the level.
Let me give you, I'm glad you said that. And I want y'all to hear me on that, because we're going to get into this another day. The Gnostics talked about something called the counterfeit spirit or identity. Mm-hmm. Fake it till you make it is their system of being counterfeit. You haven't made it. Why mm-hmm. fake it? That is an archonic counterfeit thing. All you have to do is just know where you are and be okay with where you are. Present in the now. And as long as you do that, you're not putting no emotions on yourself, not knowing that you're not there, that you got to wake up in the morning and fake it. Because that is an archon, and y'all look it up. It's called the counterfeit spirit or whatever. The Gnostics talked about it. Some of the great ones talk about it. Fake it till you make it is part of that system. And all of that harnesses power of emotions that you don't. We're not telling you to visualize. I didn't say not visualize, because the minute you visualize is okay. But the minute you then begin to be what you not. So let's just say I wanted to be a killer. Do I fake it and start killing him? Or am I that now? You get what I'm saying? But I'm saying is, how do you fake being a killer?
Action.
How do you fake it until you make it? Then you're going to continue to be a fake ass person while you trying to make it. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't change the parameters.
Right.
It is a counterfeit spirit is what it's called. So y'all look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. I am powerful is, I get what some of y'all are saying. And someone asked who created the Archons. Go look up Yaldabaoth or the Demiurge. You can find a lot of videos on the Demiurge. And so you can kind of do that. I'm not saying that you don't know who and what you are. But let's just say, let me try to break it down in the thoughts real quick. Let's say you go to you perform some type of meditation, Devin, right?
Mm-hmm.
A person formed meditation. And then all of a sudden, they have this experience. And then, or let me tie it into this. Let's say I came on here and said, oh, I had this great experience in this meditation. And there are some people out there who want that experience.
Mm-hmm.
They began to search for that experience. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say all of a sudden you have this experience meditating. Then all of a sudden you then tag the identity that I am a meditation person. I am now. The very thing that separates us from everything else is still happening. Now you begin to look for a group of people that meditate. Remember, I've always said that the awake community was one of the most racist. It's just a divide thing anyway.
Exactly.
Now it's in all these segments. So all of a sudden, you then all of a sudden step over here and become this identity of this group. Mm-hmm. It's no different than somebody waking up and saying, I am spiritual versus being on a spiritual journey. Those are two different scenarios. Mm-hmm. Because I am spiritual has just separated me from someone who I think is not there and can cause your relationship. They can cause a whole lot of issues.
Divorce,
everything. I'm starting to figure this out. Like, wait a minute. We cannot go with the identity. You can be on a spiritual journey and your level is where it is, but it doesn't determine that he's and she is not where it's not this and not that. Mm-hmm. Because you can also meditate and enjoy meditation. But that don't mean you have to identify that now I'm this and that person's not because I meditate and you don't.
That's why I don't knock anyone where they are in life, because you don't know how far they came to get there.
You don't know the path.
And not only that, I think also what you're trying to say is that we're remembering.
We have to remember that we need to remember that we're part of the divine spark and we don't need none of that stuff. There you go.
Every divine spark in the universe, 13.5 billion years are in each one of us. We just have to remember. We have to remember that.
We have to remember. And that's the whole design of the system. That's why people being reincarnated, because they're not leaving here remembering, and it's easy to trick them at the light.
Mm-hmm. Erase their memory.
And well, they go there without any. It don't matter. So that's why they walk into it in the first place. You die knowing what you know. That's what damn sure. Mm-hmm. But if you die knowing less than what you need to know, then at that moment, you're going to get turned back in here anyway. And they're just going to recycle this stuff.
Reincarnation cycle.
You need to die knowing what not to do. Period.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then you can go there. Someone said you cannot knock another person's journey. No,
you cannot.
You cannot. You cannot. And that is something there. Rob, this is a sure one of your best work. However, it takes continuous practice to achieve being an observer. Yes, it does. Getting control of a lot in addition to doing deep breathing. Yes, breathing. And we're going to talk about that, not today. And I will go deeper that for our group into the Patreon because it is a whole different process. But you nailed it right there because you can start breathing to see the world as you're supposed to see it. So that, yeah, and it is a journey. Oh my God, it's a journey. All right. So this next clip, I call it manufactured lack. When we see what is happening, and you're all going to remember this, then you're going to understand why it's happening. And we see it all the time within our economy, with anything else. When they need to create this food, they develop all these ways of doing it. So let's go into a clip, what we call manufactured lack. And let's do this. And everything I'm telling y'all today is not me being an influencer. It is just us being consciousness and awareness of each other in the divine connection. And you begin, because if you study it, and 10 of you study it, and then 100 of you study it, I should get the right answers back anyway, because we are connected.
All of us.
All of us. And so point, as we begin to raise consciousness and awareness, it helps everybody. And that's part of the 100 monkey effect. If you don't go look at it, go watch a video. And what happened was there was these Japanese scientists had a bunch of monkeys on an island, by the way. And these macaque monkeys or whatever. And the monkeys, they start dropping potatoes down, feeding these monkeys. See, they was doing an isolated type of, study on an island. The monkeys felt that the potatoes was too freaking hard. And so they started dipping it in water. One of them did. And he figured out this softens up the potatoes. And then 2 of them did. Okay, that's fine. Then about 30 of them started doing it. Okay, we can call it the bandwagon effect, or this is probably what they call monkey see, monkey do comes from. But hey, listen to this. This is on the island. When it reached critical mass of consciousness of all of those monkeys started to do this, all of a sudden around the world and other places, and believe me, the monkeys didn't get in the water and swim their asses over the ocean to go tell their friends. Somehow the other monkeys learned to start washing the potatoes first. How did they know that? Because in the dream state of those other monkeys, they told them what to do because they all was connected. This is how we are. There are some of you are connected to some things that you go to sleep on, and there's some other frequencies. But once we all begin to do what we do, and this is why the world is on the upswing consciously right now, then it's going to help us out. But anyway, that's another story. Go look it up. What do you think? You heard it?
They won't be able to stop us.
They won't be able to stop us. Nope. They won't be able to stop us. Let's play the next clip. We got 2 more, and this one's pretty interesting. So let's play it. People, what are y'all thoughts? This is called manufactured lack. Now,
Play it again.
I'm going to play it again. You want me to play it again? Okay, so let's play it again, and let's go. She says, I just want 1 pack. People, let me tell you a story. You see this? No. Let me show y'all. Let me use y'all a real story here. Okay, so Devin came in here early and said he was hungry. Okay, and I told him to go out there, and there was some ladies had some chicken wings, and I said, hey, go get them. He's like, me? You go. Send the big guy. Maybe I get the excuse. So they had jokes. They came back and sent us 1 chicken wing. 1 chicken wing. Now I ate it. Devin looked at it. He smelled it. I can just feel it. He was hungry. I ate it. Now this is a bone, and what you saw was toilet paper. But a bone is just a bone. And to 2 lions, says one of them got to have it.
Right.
If he decided that he got to have this bone and I got to decide I have this bone, it's not a bone no more. It's not a fucking bone. It's war. It is this. It is that. We saw, she said, I want one fucking roll of toilet paper. That's it. And I'm saying that this is done on purpose. This is done on purpose. What we saw is not someone created way back and said, hold up on manufacturing toilet paper. We're going to create this endemic thing. And all of a sudden, everybody's running to the store buying toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, you need to get you a bidet like I do. Just turn on the water and just sit there and read. In the mornings, I just turn on my water.
I never experienced a bidet until I went to Vegas.
Look, I mean, I'm just telling you. Just let it go, baby. And stay there as long as you want.
It'll change your life.
I'm telling you, then turn the heat up on it, the hot water just
then let the warm
and then
air
you lean to the side,
dry
make you
you
get that
off.
part, you get that part. And then by the time you're done, you got one little piece of paper to use. Save a damn tree. Save the fucking tree. That's all I'm saying. All right. So where I'm going with this is someone decided, how do we manufacture lack to create fear, to create all of these stuff, because something is feeding off of that. This is not, it has nothing to do with economics. They ain't never running out of toilet paper.
Gasoline, water.
None of that, right?
It's a program.
There you go. And the Archons is not demons. It's a program.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And that program is running. So again, on the surface, we're talking about shells become empty. We got empty shells. Okay. We have, other people jumped in it. Y'all see other people jumped into it, start getting emotional. People watching it start getting emotional. And then if you find this video, it's got millions and millions of views and content and comments, and people are getting emotional. And whoever manufactured that, we know, is saying, just feed me.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gnostics, who a lot of their information, and remember TK is preparing for the Naga Manga Text book club that we're doing. You're going to learn some of this stuff. You're going to learn it. And I'm not telling you, but someone else said the bidet is the best. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That bidet will change your
bidet,
life.
that's what it's called. I call it bidet. But bidet, yeah.
It'll change
Bidet,
your life.
it'll change your life. I'm telling you. Yeah.
But yeah, people love chaos, civil unrest, violence, because it fuels the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather be liked than loved. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why they post stuff. But it's deeper than that, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeding the program. And
Yep.
they know this. There's no such thing as scarcity.
Yeah.
There's enough oil. There's
Scarcity mentality.
There's scarcity mentality.
That's
But
that's
there's
the Archon
definitely
stuff.
enough oil, water.
Yeah.
They have I forget the name of the system that they change from salt water to fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
They do it every day on the naval vessels. So the technology is there. They've always had it, but now the next major war is supposed to be over water. Scarcity.
Yeah.
And it's one big lie.
Yes, absolutely. And those are the things that we have to understand. So when we start talking about the mechanism of what we just saw and what's going on, we're talking about the demiurge. Let me make sure I put that here. Listen, the demiurge actually has in its own economy. All right. It has an economy. And just because we can't see it, and there is a way you can see them, by the way, because they are physical entities or physical things. It's just that the spectrum of our eyes don't see them, but you do see them every now and then off the corner of your peripheral vision. Sometimes you see shit move, you're like, what was that? That was them. Your children see them until we train them that, oh, what you saw was nothing. And then the brain cuts it off, which is why our brain cuts it off. But just because it was cut off, meaning you have cut it off, meaning you can cut it back on. We're going to get to that in the Patreon this week. I'm going to teach it. All right. So basically, the demiurge is a closed system. And what Devin just said, it runs on belief. Scarcity is a belief system. You have to believe it. You got to believe it in order to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that takes me back to what you said earlier. You have to believe what you don't have, scarcity, to fake it until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to believe you ain't even got it first. You already send a signal of deficit right off the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Just be it. Become. Observe. Observe the reasons why that person, not you, why do this person who calls himself Roderick don't have what he needs? And watch how the creative mind began to work for that. Watch how the mind begins to notice from the outside of what it sees that you can't see in the inside, being in it. And how I explain that will be, think of a maze. Think of a maze that you're in and you start to run as fast as you can in the maze, but it still has structure. It still has structure. And now, better yet, let me give you a better one. Think of an ant walking on your kitchen floor, walking around between the tiles. He's trying to, and you can see, and you see him, he's lost in between those tiles, the ant. But picture the ant being you. But if you step away from it, or us looking at the ant, we can see from up here which way it needs to turn to get out of that. But the ant can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's caught up in the maze of it. If you step out of that and become that observer of that, you will figure out what is going on instead of being in it and talking about I am and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And no, that's the whole point the Gnostics was teaching. The answer is within you. It's within you. They're teaching us to look for the outside and go for all these answers and all of this stuff. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do it. If you follow along with me, if we're there, let me know if y'all getting anything from it. That's cool. So, like he says, is that we begin to say things like, what is not enough? And when they manufacture these manufactured, stuff, it comes back down to, and now we already know who it is. I'm not even going to go. So we're going to go into the Archons. Now, there is not enough lack converts free people into dependence, okay? I want you to know that. So the same thing go with what I was talking about earlier. When we start saying there is not enough, or I am whatever, not this, or you can say I'm powerful, or I am the shit. I'm just going to use sugar, honey, iced tea, whatever. But the whole point is it turns free people into dependence. That's all this stuff does. I am spiritual leads you to go be dependent on spiritual shit. I am a meditation person leads you to go be dependent on meditation stuff, meditation groups, instead of just having the experience of being or doing meditation. It doesn't identify who you are. It's just you're using meditation to be a better observer. You are becoming more spiritual to get connected to divine spark and source. Not that I am spiritual and I meet a man who's not spiritual and I don't want his ass. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going on
Every day.
This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We're doing the relationship seminar August the 8th, and we're going to bring it up because I wanted to wait to hit them with this because everybody in there going to raise their hand. I'm spiritual. Well, that right there alone have done the work that was already intended for you not to have what you want in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Take you and your man on a spiritual journey, and no matter what he is and you not, just go together. And if he's on 10 and you on 20, just observe that shit. Right. That don't mean I'm spiritual and he's not, because there's a level of when it's cold and when it's hot. We already know. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Okay, so we're going to get to the third video in just a second.
I know a few people that are going through that now. One person is religious. Well, several people that I know. One is religious, one is spiritual. Spiritual person feels that they're a little more evolved than the religious person because they're spiritual.
Yes.
Then you get two spiritual people. This person is more spiritual than the other person.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a continuation, no matter what we're saying. The same system that is designed to tell us we need to protect ourselves from the demiurge is the same trick that get us to understand and bring them into our system in the first place. You just got to ask yourself, why do I need to be protected from them? And when you answer that fucking question, that's it. And then you know. So someone just asked, she says, I can't say I'm sovereign, just got to be that. If you took a step out of that, Aryan Diva, and you look at it and say, why is Aryan Diva thinking she needs to be sovereign? Watch what happens to the answers that come back. What does she need to do? And it's no more saying I am than trying to work off that shit, which it ain't what it is. The observer of conscious awareness will begin to answer. The divine spark will begin to tell you why what you are observing ain't what it is. And then you can project the changes that it needs to be made. Plain and simple. And I'm not going to use the word simple because it's just based on understanding, because that will then let someone else think that they don't know it. So see, I'm learning. Let me take that word out. It ain't plain and simple. It's just, hey, observe that. Just observe it. That's all I'm saying. She says, I'm just learning that is, and I respect what everybody wants to do with themselves. However, I'm trying to learn out here to be the best version of me. Yeah, just connect to the divine spark. So the teachable moment of what we call a manufactured lack is discernment first. Devin was just talking about that a little bit. So the first thing you want to do when you see these things is you want to have discernment. That's the first and foremost. Then you ask yourself, is this the real limit? We're talking about that lack videos we just saw. And I'll play it again real quick so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to play it again, just some of it. Okay. So I'm going to tell you where the I am comes in just a second. But the first thing, once again, when you start seeing what they saw was a manufactured lack, start doing some discernment on your own and say, is this a real limit or is this staged? Who would have done that? Who would trace back to the choke points? You can just do an internet. China be back there saying, hell no, we got plenty of toilet paper over here. They always have. They'll go look at in their news. They'll be like, no, we ain't got no problem with no toilet paper. I don't know what the Americans are talking about over there. And who owns the vow? Then you can practice what we call sufficiency as a frequency.
Yes.
As a frequency, you can say, I have enough. You know, I am enough. Remember, it's not an identity. Enough is not an identity. You get what I'm saying? It's not an identity. It's not saying anything other than, but you can now put the frequency out there. And that headline of all that shit just goes away. So You can say it and think about it. So fear empty shells is the real product, and refuse to buy it. That's all I'm saying. Don't go running down there and get the shit too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you just want to stock up just in case the bullshit happens again, look at it that way. Stock up.
Not just in case, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
I tell everyone all the time, 2 things you're going to need until you die. That's toilet paper and water. Just stock up on it. Stock up on it. So when they give you the scarcity program, you're not panicked. Because you already have, a month's worth.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is called the fork. This last video we're going to go through is called the fork. Now, the fork kind of goes off of division. Team A versus Team B. Whether it's a debate that goes viral. We're going to see a lot of those this week. We're going to play, 2 camps, 2 whatever. You got 2 people grouped with this group. So let's play the quick clip for a second here and let's continue. Now, what you just saw, we call it the fork, meaning the division. Now, you saw the guy was going at someone else, and then someone else was trying to calm him down, and then he go at the person who was trying to calm him down, who obviously knew who he was. And he gets mad at them now for trying to calm him down. And it just, in all this stuff, what started that? What got in someone's head and said, blah, 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 blah? Because we've all heard the voices. And the question is, what you hear every day, is it your voice? Is it your voice? And were you sitting there? How many times you sitting there just watching TV and some shit just comes across your thoughts? See, we're going to practice that this week. We're going to practice that breathing that they was talking about earlier. We're going to do it in the Patreon this week to practice and to identify what am I hearing? Is this thought that I'm having serves the purpose of my higher purposes? Because sometimes we don't ask ourselves about what we're thinking. But if you become the observer and you think some shit, turn around, stop and go, what the fuck is that? And then you're going to realize it ain't coming, well, whatever it is, it ain't coming from my highest good. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the Archons, the program. It's a program. It's a program, but it's trying to get you to not remember of the divine spark. It's a program. So real quickly, so that we can get out of here on our hour. Really, it is an hour. I'm tired. And I'm going to shut it down. Even though we got a third one, but I'm going to shut it down.
Real quickly, in my previous life, before I retired, it was this older gentleman that gave me lifelong wisdom. And it was definitely a teachable moment, and I got it right away. But I was working, and this one guy that I had no clue, never met him a day in my life. And I asked him to do something, and he just went off on me. I mean, just snapped for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
And so this other guy, he witnessed it. He saw everything. And so then that was the end of it. And then the older gentleman, he said, "Do you know him?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, don't take it personally." I said, "Well, I didn't take it personally, but I'm human.
Yeah.
I'm human. I internalized it."
Are you? You see what I just said?
Yes.
The identity?
Very fact.
Right there. That's the whole point. The identity of I am human had you to try to rationalize with what he was saying was correct, though.
I'm a
he was correct.
You having a human experience.
Just observe it.
Right. But
Yeah.
what he said
Mhm.
was that guy was yelling at your uniform.
Ha.
He has no clue who you are. He doesn't know your name, your personality. He doesn't know what you ate for breakfast. He's yelling at your uniform.
At whatever
Don't take it
experience that he
personal.
had, an experience that he could have had.
If he had a bad day. And I took that to heart, and I just based everything off of that, and it's helped me out significantly. Because these people don't know you. Road rage. They don't know you. They could be on their way to the hospital because their wife was involved in an accident. You don't know.
Yeah.
So you can't internalize this stuff.
Yeah. And that's one of the things and this is where we're going to go with this. So for those of you, we're going to be doing this week a kind of a webinar. So I'm going to do the webinar in our Patreon, which is the 33 parallel. I don't even have it on my screen here, but I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Also, look in the chat or the description of the video. We have our sponsors there. We have Make It Sewn Shea Butters, and actually I have a new product that I'm going to try. We're not going to market it, but I'm going to tell y'all how it is. It's supposed to help with pain and different stuff. So I'm going to be rubbing from Make It Sewn. But anyway, the description is in the video. Support that. And then, of course, Charm and Mala's. And we had poetry night this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We had poetry night Saturday, our first poetry or spoken words. Shout out to the team, Devin and TK and Maya and Sandra and then we had London. A lot of these people, Holly, all of them. The team set the room up, and the ambiance was like, whew. The candles, the dim lights, and the pulsating light. It was on. The next one's going to be even bigger because I was in here yesterday. That's another story. But anyway, shout out to the team, to our poetry night. And we're going to do another one in a few weeks. Also, there we go. So that's the Patreon right there. Thank you, Maya. And then also for those of you who ordered your disk drives or got that hidden information, and you're going to learn the stuff that I'm learning is in here too. Some of you, your stuff is in the mail. And shout out to your new life is all I'm going to tell you. But anyway, I love you all. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If not, then we'll be doing Forbidden Knowledge. We're doing another one, our relationship stuff, sending us to the event for August the 8th. So with that being said, I'll see you all, and we will get together another time. And so let me do that. So, all right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.